What is up, YouTubers? Tsquare here with Tsquare Talks. I hope everybody's having a great day. Got a few things we got to talk about tonight. Really cool. Some good news, some bad news. I'm happy about some of this stuff, so we're going to talk a little bit about it. I had a subscriber ask me if I could explain what shorting silver actually meant. So we're going to talk about that tonight a little bit. How the US dollar got downgraded from AAA to AA. Basically, they told us our credit isn't as good as it used to be, and it's going to make people rethink if they want to buy up our debt and loan us money, essentially. So that's going to be pretty interesting. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then last but not least, we're going to talk a little bit about the naysayers out there, the people that really just firmly are against silver and gold. Just based off a couple comments that I had today. Hey, go back and check your videos 2 months ago. You thought silver was going to go up. You know, I told the person, I said, go back and check my comments 2 years ago that silver was going to go up. And look at the price of silver over the last 2 years and the steady climb, and you will see, I mean, you know, silver ain't what it used to be. It continues to go up, and I believe it's going to continue to go up, especially with what's going on right now. So we're going to talk a little bit about all those things. Before I get started, please, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button for me. It helps me more than you know. A lot of times I know people watch the video and they just forget the thumbs up button. It's okay. I do it too on videos sometimes. I might love a video and just totally forget to hit that thumbs up. So please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It helps us out more than you know. And leave me a comment, because I love reading y'all's comments, because it's comments like these that give me an idea for a video tonight. Right off the bat, I'm going to start off by saying silver went down today. It was kind of funny. I did my video last night. I do my videos late at night. When it's quiet, I'm not going to receive any phone calls. Everybody's asleep. There's nothing going on. And it's just quiet time. And I was having second thoughts a little bit. I'm like, man, where would I be if I never even gotten into silver? What would my situation be? I mean, would I be living on a private island? Would I be totally broke? I don't know. I tend to stack heavily. You guys know that. I actually talked to a friend of mine today, and he's like, I think it's pretty obvious you're a pretty big stacker based on your purchases and stuff. Even if you trade some of it away, you still probably are buying more than a lot of people. So with that being said, I got to say, some days I have second thoughts. I get frustrated, especially on a day that I got to shell out $300 for my truck. Even though $300 I know is not a lot of money, it does have an impact. And I looked at it like, hey, you know, that's more silver I could have gotten. So, you know, you get in that frustration. And then I post that video this morning. As soon as I wake up, it's the first thing I do every morning. That's why my times on the morning videos are not always consecutive. I stay up late. I sleep in. And so I posted the video and went and got my day started. I had to take my son to his college and stuff and help him get enrolled and get tuition paid, really was the big thing. And needless to say, I had a bunch of phone calls. Hey, what's going on with silver? I glance over and look, and I was like, oh my word, it's getting killed. Oh, I shouldn't have said that word. It's a bad word on YouTube. But needless to say, it's getting destroyed. And so I'm thinking about buying. I was thinking about buying all day. I had all I could do to not put in my buy order. And, you know, I'm feeling good. I went from one day to the next, from not liking it to loving it again. And, you know, it's a good buy, I think. And I believe that to be the case. So we'll see what happens. So the first thing we're going to talk a little bit about shorting silver. I'm going to make it fairly quick. I left him a big comment that explained it all out, I hope. And I'm hoping he's going to leave me a comment saying, yeah, I totally understand it now. In short, this right here is 5 ounces of silver. It's only 5 ounces. An example on a small scale of shorting silver is if I loan this to somebody, 5 ounces, and let's say the spot price today is $25. I'm using that for easy math. And this is a 5 ounce bar. I loan it to him. And now here's the thing, though. Shorting is not done with physical. It's done with paper, though. But I'm trying to explain it in a few different ways. So I loan him this. He takes this 5 ounces and he sells it on the market today. And let's say he gets $25 an ounce, because we're pretending for a minute silver's 25, because I don't know the exact price of it right this minute, especially after today. He gets $25 an ounce. And I tell him I want my 5 ounces back in 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, whatever we agree on. And contracts come in different increments of dates. However, he does that and silver drops to 24. He can buy back these same ounces in paper, because paper doesn't have the premiums like we pay on physical, at $24 a piece. So what was once $125 is now $121. He made $4. Now, granted, this is on a small scale, because with the other day, someone shorted 10 million ounces. And if the price drops by $1 and they pay that back, then essentially that's $10 million that they made, because they get to buy it back at $1 less. If the price goes up, though, on this between now and when the person has to give it back to me to $26, the person now is obligated to buy it off the market for $26 and then hand it back over to me. I still got mine no matter what. I got my paper, though. This is physical. I got to emphasize that a few times for some people. Physical and paper are not the same thing. There's not enough physical ounces to cover all the paper ounces if everybody wanted to claim. So with that being said, there's a lot of people out there that will short huge amounts of ounces, like we saw the other day at 10 million ounces. Now, when they take these 5 ounces here, they sell it at $25, the current price. Maybe they'll drive the price down a little bit. Maybe not. But with 10 million ounces, you can bet the price is coming down. When the price comes down, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They're driving the price down, and then they'll buy it back up and give it back to someone. Now, how does that make a difference? Because here's the thing. When they're buying it back up, they're driving the price back up. But if they're the one to do it, if they're organized and they got other people in on it, then it's people like me and you that could end up holding the bag. And that's why big companies like JP Morgan has been in trouble for trying to manipulate the stock market, manipulate the precious metals market, I said stock market because in my earlier explanation in words on a comment, I mentioned a new movie that's coming out. It's called Dumb Money. It's the story about GameStop and Roaring Kitty, who is a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber. He does YouTube videos, and he told everybody his opinion. He loved GameStop. He thinks they're shorting it, and it's undervalued, and it's going to have to go up. He bought, and his million subscribers bought, and they drove the price high like you wouldn't believe. Now, a lot of people have said that ain't going to work with silver. That's what the silver squeeze is all about. It's the masses trying to drive up the silver price. And to a point, some people will say you can't do that with silver because the market's too big. It's bigger than a group of YouTubers and traders and small people like me and you. When the masses gets into silver, there ain't going to be no stopping it, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. So that is essentially what shorting a stock or shorting silver is. You're borrowing it today. You have to pay it back in 30 days. You're hoping the price comes down so you can buy it back for less and then return it to the person or the holder or the bank or whoever loaned it to you. Usually it's banks that will short stuff. In a stock, if the company goes bankrupt in that process, then the person that shorted the company, they don't have to pay it back because they went bankrupt. There's nothing to pay back. You can't get the stocks anymore, the shares. With silver, that would be a whole different situation because silver is not going to be able to go bankrupt. It's not going to be able to go to zero. So that will be really interesting to see how that plays out. So moving on, we had the U.S. dollar get downgraded. I think it was Finch that came out and said, we are downgrading the U.S. dollar from AAA to AA. And what kind of impact will that have on the dollar? Well, basically, it's kind of like a individual that the bank said, or Equifax, or whoever the big There's three companies, I think Equifax, and I can't remember the other ones. Basically, if they downgraded you and said, you know what, we're not going to loan you money because your credit's bad. You're horrible with your money. They basically came out and said the U.S. is horrible with their spending. They can't get it in order. And now we're showing signs of $1 trillion every year nonstop. There's no end to it. And at these interest rates, we're going to have a hard time even paying the interests. And then we had another bank collapse on Friday. The signs are there that things are starting to get hard for the U.S. dollar. And all these BRICS countries overseas that are meeting in August 22nd are going to see that we just got downgraded. And that's going to have an impact on their meeting and their decision. They all could possibly ditch the dollar on that day. Is it likely? It's probably not likely that that's going to happen on that day because a lot of those countries are still sitting on dollars. But I think they're going to be advised in that meeting. They say it's not on their agenda, but they're going to talk about it. And they're probably going to be advised that maybe we should work on slowly dumping our dollars little by little. And just like you have 1,000 people holding up a bridge, if all of a sudden some of those people start, it's okay if some go get a drink of water. But if little by little those people start walking away, at a certain point, it's going to collapse on the people that are left holding it. That's where the dollars come in. The people that are left holding huge amounts of dollars at the end are going to be the ones left holding the bag. Now, what I try to do with you guys, the subscribers of this channel, is try to tell you guys that's why I'm into silver. That's why I like silver. That's why I like gold. I don't want to be left holding the bag for a large amount. Will I get stuck holding the bag? Of course, we're all going to have something. Maybe some money in the bank, a little bit of money in the sock drawer, maybe some money in your wallet if you're a cash person. I don't use credit, so I'm not big on credit. I shouldn't say I don't use it, but I don't like using it. But sometimes you go somewhere and they only take credit. You don't have a choice. So you can expect that is going to lead to it's going to leave some people holding the bag, the people that didn't have the foresight. Now, at a certain point, I'm convinced that something major is going to happen. They're going to have to do something big to try to instill confidence back in the people. I mean, if other countries are dropping the dollar and American citizens are dropping the dollar, that's a bad sign. Now, there's a lot of talk that they may ban the purchases of gold and silver and make it, outlaw gold and confiscate gold. And there's a lot of nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. Are they going to go after silver? I don't think they would go after silver. Gold, I think they might outlaw it, but are they going to really go to your house and confiscate it? I don't think they will. So, there's nothing to worry about there. In my personal opinion, not financial advice. And gold, here's the thing. If they take it, they're going to give you money for it. It's going to be fiat. I could picture them making a better decision and saying, you know what? We're going to roll out a new digital currency. You can convert your old dollars to new digital dollars at a 10-to-1 ratio. We're going to give everybody so many at first. You better get them turned in now. And if you have an ounce of gold, we're going to give you 2,000 digital dollars. What does that do for you? 2,000 digital dollars at a 10-to-1 ratio means that you get essentially 20,000 old dollars. And then you hurry up and hopefully you convert some of that money, pay off any bills that you might owe, just in case all of a sudden they're going to refinance them in new dollars, which I believe they eventually will. Maybe they'll take your debt and make it 10-to-1, but if they make your debt 10-to-1 ratio, then essentially you're kind of still in the same boat on your debt. So it doesn't really change a ton because you still owe a heavy amount of money if you're in debt, unless you're one of them people like me that don't really believe in heavy debt. Last but not least, I want to talk about a comment that I had today. It was from a naysayer. Go back and check your comments 2 months ago and read what you had said and watch your videos. You thought silver was going to go up and it didn't go up. Okay, so it didn't go up. It didn't go up in the last couple months. Does that mean it's the end of the world? No. Go back and watch my videos from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and you're going to see that we've seen a pretty steady incline of silver all the way up from $15 to, 23 something today. And I think that we haven't even seen the worst yet. Every day things are getting worse and worse. For them to downgrade our credit rating, that's as bad as it was. We haven't been downgraded since 2011. That means we're in like the worst position we've been in the last 12 years. What does that say about the dollar? What does that say about gold and silver? Our day is coming, I believe. And there's going to be naysayers out there that are going to say that. But when you really look at what's really going on, I think you're making the right choice. I think we're seeing precious metals. We can see it go down. I mean, they can beat paper. They can take paper and beat it down to $5 if they want. I mean, and if anybody thinks that's not possible, how many of y'all remember when silver was at 20 and they beat it down to 12? On paper? Nobody was selling it for 12. We seen big companies like AppMax just close the doors. They said, we ain't selling. They actually told everybody we're not selling for the time being. They took a day off until things came under control. They weren't selling. No one is going to sell their silver that they bought for $25 for 12 or for whatever. I mean, you might sell if you really need money. Well, yeah, you might sell a couple ounces. I mean, I've sold if I've needed money. And yes, I'm not going to lie. I've needed money. In some cases, I have overspent my monthly money because I didn't think something was going to happen. And then all of a sudden something happened and I needed some extra money and I had to sell a little. But you know what? I don't save my money and I don't save my wealth in dollars. I save it in precious metals. With that being said, I'm a firm believer that we're going to see prices continue to climb. And days like this, it makes me feel really confident that I'm going to get some more good deals. So with that being said, I thank you all for watching. If you did a shout out video, make sure that I see it. I don't care if you got to write 10 comments because I only have 5 names on the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if your video was not already posted, you cannot be eligible at this point. I'm just trying to catch up and find all the videos out there that I might have missed that someone did a shout out a couple weeks ago and I still haven't seen their comment. So if you did not, make sure if you've got to leave 10 comments on the video today, make sure you do that. Make sure that I acknowledge you. That you did a shout out video if you did one. Because as of right now, there's only 5 people. New Marshall, Lax, JM, 420, and Critic. I think, is that how you pronounce it? Critic? I don't know I'm sorry. Critic. But with that being said, it's super easy to do. But I mean, if you already did one, make sure I see it. But it doesn't mean anything major because we're going to be announcing our 10,000 subscriber giveaway very shortly. As soon as I wrap this one up, we'll be announcing that one. And I will be wrapping that up very shortly. That way I can get the new video out to try to promote 10,000 subscribers. We literally went up 100 subs in only 8 days, 9 days. So pretty cool there. I thank everybody for watching. I thank everybody for commenting and hitting that thumbs up button. Thank you all. You'll have a great day. And I will see you guys again on Tsquare Talk. Take care, everybody. Keep picking up that shiny. It's going to pay off pretty soon, I think. Not financial advice, but take care, everybody. Bye-bye.